ready to craft, and we're visiting a dear old friend today, because on road trips you go see dear old friends, correct? So you don't just go and see your new friends, you see the old ones too. So that's what we're doing today. We're visiting a dear old friend. I saw this set and I'm like, this is it. This is the one. It spoke to me today. Gotta use it. So as opposed to telling you about it, why don't I show you what we're doing today? Let me move on down to the workspace. I always start singing the Jefferson song, but that's moving on up. We're moving on down. So our dear old friend we're visiting today is the spotted orchid. It's just a good old fella. Just love this set. And you know, 2021 doesn't seem so long away, but 2 years, like that's a hot minute, you know, it's a hot minute. So hi everybody, hello. Beautiful to see you all. Well, see you all. Yes, make sure you share, my friends, for a chance to win a $15 gift certificate to the store. Awesome. Look at you guys sharing. I don't even have to tell you anymore. You just know. And then I pulled out deck planks. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have an office right now. So if it's a little echoey, that's why. There's nothing in my office except my desk. And, well, my desk, I'd like to say is clean, but no. LOL. So it needs to be, but it's not right now. But this friend was hanging out with me, and I thought, hey, it goes great with spotted orchids. All right. And then this guy showed up on the scene. I don't know if he's coming or not. Can't decide whether he wants to go on the road trip with us. So, you know, that's all right. That happens. And, you know, Angel has her angel wings on, so she's ready for anything. So it's good. If he jumps in the car at the last minute, Angel will have us covered. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start with our stamp wheel. I've cut my paper down. So my paper is cut down to about 7 1/4. Because on my thing, it's hard to tell where 7 1/4 is. Gonna total honesty again, by 5 1/2. And my paper is a little wrinkly in corners, so I'm just gonna try not to stamp there. I've pulled out a plethora of inks for today because they all look so pretty. And when I'm looking at the board over there and I see all the colors, I'm like, oh, but I could do it in this, or I could do it in this. Oh, wait, I could do it in this color. So you guys know how that goes. You make one card and it just snowballs. It is. And it's the obsidian, I think, that makes it. Those little black dots, the detail. Oh, goodness. So this one is labeled, you know, has the A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. And that's the layer I'm talking about that I think it looks beautiful at A4. But when you add that little dot detail, holy Toledo. We are talking amazing. All right, so we're going to put that fella there, and we'll go ahead. We'll get him all picked up on our stamp wheel. And mine, you can see the mat's discolored. It still works perfectly. It does need a bath because I've lost my stickiness because somebody may have used their, you know, anti-static powder tool in the stamp wheel base, and you know, putting powder on a sticky surface makes it not sticky. So I think maybe tonight that will be the excitement in the Casey household, is that we will be washing the stamps. All right, so I pulled, of course, for my lovely Angel, I pulled Seashore, and me too, because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm loving some Seashore too. However, then I saw Martian Terrain. See, this is where it went off the rails. When I picked colors, it went a little off the rails for me because I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Oh, but no, I could do this. So we're going to do, I think, some of both, and we're going to create just probably one card with the arrangement. So there's that one. And if you want to, you can stamp again. I'm okay with how that turned out because the ink's going to soak into the paper, so it's okay. But at least I got all my yucky stuff off because I've used this stamp set quite a bit. This is one of my favorites from Alt New. Absolute favorites. Okay, so I probably will stamp that one again. I missed a spot, kind of. I gotta put my elbow into it. Gotta get the elbow in there. Oh, I wish I was at the seashore too. But I have to tell you, Tracy, in a couple of weeks. I'm grabbing Uncle Al and I am taking him to go see a play down at the seashore. So it will be amazing. Very excited. And it's Gloria Estefan, Get on Your Feet. It's her story. So it's pretty exciting. It's a little local playhouse down in southern Maine. And I'm super excited about it. Oh, I've already got cat hair all over this. And again, if we have cat hair, we just stamp through it. It was very bizarre in Syracuse stamping because there was no emery hair. And actually, Pam had mentioned that to me. I said, oh, what do you think of my project? And she goes, it's missing something, emery fur. So I don't know if Emery paid her to say that or, Yes, he will. I have to start every project. I know. Serena, it's the same thing. It's like, first, you have to pick the stamp set that's speaking to you. Then you got to pick the colors. And I mean, I love our options. Don't get me wrong. But some days I'm like, okay, cancel life. I have to make this with every single color that exists and every stamp set that Alts New has. So yeah, but it hasn't worked out yet where I called life and I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming in today because I need to stamp. It kind of laughed at me. So I hope it works better if you happen to call and say, hey life, I'm not coming in today. I got to stamp. So I hope it doesn't laugh because, kind of hurts your feelings, when you call and you're like, hey, life, I'm checking out today. And then life is like, no, you are checking in, girlfriend. Okay. So I got Canyon Clay and I'm using it on both. Now, remember that I double stamped down in the bottom because I didn't like how I stamped my first one. I didn't put enough pressure on it. So I didn't like how it came out. So it's a little bit different looking. But remember that, yes, get on your feet. It's actually, what's it? Yeah, that's what it's called. Gloria Estefan, Get on Your Feet is the name of the play. And they'll do all of her songs, Coming Out of the Dark. Oh, yes, yes. So when the inks, I'm like, I get distracted because I see the chat and I'm like, squirrel. I'm so excited to chat with all of you. So this looks a little bit different. This one's a little bit darker than this one because I double stamped. But think of that. If you have, say, I almost used Spring Bouquet today because you can use that little trick. Even if so there's 4 inks that you stamp with this set, okay? But if you have like Spring Bouquet, where you only have 3 pinks, you can bring in another pink. That's an option. Or B, you can just start double stamping your inks. And I think we forget about that sometimes. So don't forget about that because that's an important, instead of having 4 colors, you really have 8 because you can double stamp them all along the way and get a different look. And how cool is that? Super duper cool. All right, so we may still have some emery hair, but we're pushing through. And actually, I got to stop blaming emery for 2 reasons. 1, because sometimes my hair gets in there. And 2, because Dexy is pretty furry too. So I just live in a very furry household. But that's okay. It just means they wanted to contribute and help with the project. So that if I ever do send cards out, it'll be from them too. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us. Who doesn't need a little crafting on a Thursday afternoon? I can't think of anybody. All right, let's get this all inked up, making sure I'm pushing, because there were some spots that were like a little lighter. It just means I hadn't pushed my ink pad fully down, and I also hadn't pushed my stamp wheel flip plate all the way down either. So gotta make sure we do both of those. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at how pretty. So pretty. All right, now we got to start cleaning. I've tried to avoid it. You guys saw me just kind of pulling them off, putting them on there. But I do want to I'm hoping we can fit in the seashore, down by the seashore. Oh yeah, there's never a dull moment. I can't promise much, Sherry, but I can promise that. Oh, ride with me. There's never a dull moment. Okay, so this one, I'm doing it upside down, but I think we align it right there. And you know what? If it's not perfect, I'm okay with that because you know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And as my dear friend Joni said, if they point it out, they are not card worthy. They don't get cards anymore. If they criticize and say, hey, you didn't line this up, that means no more cards. Because we're just taking artistic freedoms if we didn't line it up right, correct? It was a design element that we thought long and hard about. It wasn't an accident. We did it on purpose. Yes, everybody, thank you so much for sharing the live because we want to share the all to new love because there's a lot of love. All this crafty love. Got to share the crafty love. Look at this. I mean, it just, Martian terrain. So folks that know me know that nobody will steal my heart away from Rock Collection. Rock Collection is my love, love, love. But, Martian terrain is making a play here. It's like, but look at me. I'm so pretty. I'm so perfect. I'm so gorgeous. Okay. So we got those. Look at that. Look at that. I know I keep saying it, but look how pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. So let's go ahead now. And I'm not going to do the obsidian piece just yet. Let's stamp them out. Oh, we got time. We got 45 minutes. Let's stamp out. We'll do one in Seashore. We got to have Seashore for all of you and the amazing Angel because she always springs her wings. So we got to give her some Seashore. Got to put some in there. All right. Those are my greens. I pulled so many inks. I got way overexcited. I was so excited to craft with you all. I literally pulled out every ink pretty much. Well, I think I pulled 15. So not every ink, but it's a pretty big pile of inks that I pulled out. So if you wanted to, again, if you're like, oh, Mountain Mist's kind of light for me, you could always start with Volcano Lake and just stamp it twice. So you'd stamp it for your first layer and you'd stamp it for your second layer. Okay, so here, I'll show you on this one. So let's say we're going to do this. So we'll wipe this off. Those lovely light inks. I love those. They just wipe right off. And then this one, we're not going to change colors. Okay, we're going to stay with the Mountain Mist. And just going to get that. I'm going to turn my stamp wheel so I can see because I'm lining it up. I'm lining it up right here with this little bump. So the little bump right here, that's what I'm lining up, okay? And the bottom of the flower, pretty much the little bump throughout the whole process. So that's what I'm focusing on is my little bump there. I'll turn it around, we'll come back out, so close your eyes if you have vertigo like me. So this we're gonna stamp twice, my dear friends. And since I just did the conditioning eraser. I didn't put that on the list either, Angel. Oh my goodness. The stamp conditioning eraser and the obsidian. I forgot both of those. So we're going to stamp this and you're going to be like, okay, like don't see a big difference. I see a little difference. But when we do the next one, it's going to be whoopah. It's going to be very exciting. Okay. And here we go. I wish it was kind of covered so I could go, reveal. But it's kind of because you can't see the effect yet. So we need some special magic music, but whoop, there we go. So those are just two right there. Yes, I did condition the stamp the first time we used it. And since I've just wiped it off and I literally just used it, I didn't condition it again. Sometimes I do. It depends on the stamp set. And sometimes depends on if I'm in a rush or if I'm, just lollygagging along. But I love my stamp conditioning eraser. I think it was magic, whoever created that. It is that and the stamp wheel are two tools in my room that you will have to fight me for. Because that stamp conditioning eraser changed my life, my crafty life. I used to struggle with like really solid stamps. and it would be hard because of that photopolymer on there. It'd be super duper hard. And now it's like, no worries. All right, we're going rogue as we do. Hang on, Angel. We're taking a hard right. We're going to Lagoon. We're skipping Volcano Lake. Crazy. Okay, I'm just making sure I get it all inked up. If not, I can do it again. All right, I should have used my stamp conditioning eraser. Yep, I got little dots. I cleaned this one, remember, because we used burnt red. So I should have done it. So let me do it again. So I'm just going to do it again. And I'm just going to come back in with my stamp. Oh, I can see it. Yeah. I can see it change, and you'll see it change. So this is why usually after using stamp cleaner, I like to condition again. So this will be darker because I'm stamping twice again. So in case of an emergency, you know how when you go on road trips, you pack for emergencies? I did pack for an emergency. I packed Galactic Stream just in case. And thank goodness, because I think we're going to need a touch of Galactic Stream. Hello, Brandon. I'm wonderful. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I know, Tina, I think the same thing. Absolutely. It was a huge game changer for stampers. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I just looked down and I'm like, my A4 is missing. Oh my God. Okay, it's here. Calm the panic down. All right, so going to put this right here. And then we're going to flip around, pick her up, and then we're going to stamp condition because I learned my lesson last time. I did clean this stamp as well. So I want to make sure I'm conditioned. I conditioned my hair this morning too. Just, it's good to be conditioned. So I think this is going to add a nice touch because it will take that tealy and bring it a little bit over. I think it would be fun too. Oh, Dexter's literally tapping on my back like, hello. I think it would be fun too if you did the ink blending technique where you put on some of the emerald and some of the Galactic Stream. But I just have a few random tools. But look how pretty. And we skipped things. We skipped, levels of inks. We didn't use Volcano Lake. We didn't use our Lagoony. Oh no, we did use our Lagoony. We didn't use our emeralds. There we go. And I love the look and I learned this from Lydia. This is a Lydia invention, this color combo. But it is so one of my favorites now. I use it all the time. All right, so what we're going to do our A5 now, okay, which is our obsidian. And we're going to do it on all three of our flowers. Then we're going to go ahead and we are going to make some leaves. So there is a method to my madness. Okay, so now I can't align with the little bump anymore. Okay, so now I'm aligning right in here. Okay, like the little hands. Okay, they look like little hands. And I'm aligning that up. And this is a stamp that, again, if you get it a little bit off, it's not that big of a whoopsie, I'm just making sure. I'm going to look from the side. I just want to make sure that I'm in the flower. I don't want to go outside the flower. I'm laughing because Dexy is behind me tapping me on the back like, hello, can you play with me? Dexy, no. He's if you follow me on Instagram, you saw yesterday, he's a little spoiled. He's just a little spoiled. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Again, I wish we had 24-hour crafty vision. That would be so fun. Come on anytime and craft. Be super fun. Look at that. Look at that. It just takes it to a new level. So cool. Okay. Dexter Casey. No. All right. Here we go. He's laying on a chair, so I just slid his chair. All right. So I'm going to clean this. Then we're going to move it. Now make sure you clean it because that obsidian, while it's gorgeous and basically one of my top favorite inks because it's so crisp, so clear. It's amazing, but it can be very messy. So you got to clean it really, really good. Because while you're fiddling here, trying to get everything aligned, you don't want to get excess ink in places that you don't want it. Ooh. And I do that a lot. Do you guys do that a lot? You get it perfectly placed and then you like bump it on your way out, and then a lot of times yes, he is. Texie is a spoiled little boy. I came down to have lunch yesterday on my lunch break, and he curled up, well, stretched out in my lap. He was like the length of him, and he was all bent and twisted. And I don't know how cats sleep, how they do. They look really happy, but it looks so uncomfortable as a human. I don't even think we could bend that way. So, but he was a very happy boy. As you can imagine, my cats are extremely spoiled. So, look at that though. Look, you guys, how cool is that? I mean, come on. That's like you can go through the screen and touch these flowers. And that was one of my first loves at Altenew, was like, it looks like I can touch that. It's just, and I never could do this on my own. That's my tagline. Altenew makes me look good, because these stamps are amazing. All right, so let's do a few leaves. So I'm going to be a little careful because remember I mentioned I got a little bendy up here, but that's okay. We can kind of put him in there, and let's see. We'll kind of put him in here. We'll have to clean these and move these around again because I don't really have room to flip them. I probably could flip that one, maybe. And then if I move him down here, I won't be able to flip those, but that's okay. I might be able to flip him. We'll see. If not, we just move. Wipe them off. We move them. All right. I know. I'm in awe because like I said, I need a ruler. I need a pencil, and my stick man's probably going to be crooked. So this allows me to pursue my passion and share my crafty passion with the world, because Altenew makes supplies, that help me to put out what I want to put out into the world craft-wise. So that's the thing I love, is that I get to put my unique spin and my unique take on things because they've created these beautiful products. Whoa. All right, let's see. So, that one will fit. All right, so let's sneak in this guy. And I forgot, him. I gotta leave him alone. Okay, so let's put him here. And I am living on the edge because I didn't clean those. So I'm living a little on the edge, but that's okay. All right, so we'll pick those up and we'll come in with our firefly. Do-do-do-do. Boop-a-doop-doo, dooby-doo, doop-a-dooby-doo. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my dear friends. Oh, I missed a spot. Oh, well, that's okay, because we got more layers. You guys may have guessed it. All right, and I don't want, because so I've got 6, 9. Okay, so I'm all set, because I have 6 leaves and I have 3 florals, so I'll be okay. Just got to keep my numbers in mind. All right, so my D1, I'm going to go down there. Okay, and then that's the only thing is I get overzealous. And I'm like, just ripping leaves off here. And then I'm like, what goes with what for the next layer? What matches up? This one looks like a shark or a seal or something. Okay, so, but we have the D1 here, and I think he goes down here. Okay, and then we have Sharky Boy. So Sharky Boy will go down there. And then we have the little curved dude. Looks like a diver swimming into a pool, jumping into a pool. All right. So here we go. I see I have fur on this one too. I don't don't think I can have a stamp without fur. It might be a crafty crime. Bridget Casey cannot craft without fur. Love it, Sherry. They do have that way about them too. Like, yeah. I came home today and my mailbox is out front, and there's a cat seat right in that front window. And yeah, she looked like she was the queen of her queendom here when I came. She was pretty chill looking over her subjects as they walked by. So she has no confusion about what her place is in this world or in this house. I'm here just to work and, take care of her. And that's about my usefulness. Although she does like to snuggle at night, so I'm good for that too. I have a limited window of things I'm helpful with in the cat view. So I'm good in the morning for food sometimes. Sometimes she's just not in the mood. She's lately not been in the mood for breakfast. So Dexy's pretty stoked because he gets to eat her food. So he's pretty happy about that. He's willing to help her out. He's just a helper by nature. All right, my things are a little off. I'm not worrying about it. Not worrying about it. So I'm just going to come in, put this on again. Because the thing is, your leaves are usually somewhat behind your flowers. So I'm just not going to worry about it. I could take a bit and line it up. There we go. All right, but I don't want to waste precious time. Okay, got that one there. And then, of course, I bump them, so that doesn't help me out. I'm a bumper. A stamp bumper. Okay, so there we go. And it sticks to my fingers. Lately, everything's been sticking. I've been like electric, man. All right, this is going to be our new home. New home base. I always keep the big enamel dot by my belly. That's how I know where home base is. So I don't pay attention to the wording so much. I just keep the enamel dot by my belly. That's my home. So apparently my belly is my home. All right. And again, if they're not lined up perfectly, not sweating it. It's okay. Yes, spotted orchid. And they're on the Altenew store. There's a bundle you can get. It also comes with, I believe, I saw a stencil in there. So with the stencils, it's a mask, okay? So you can mask off your project, okay? But what you can also do is you can skip the A1 layer and you can use the mask to ink blend the first layer and then start stamping. And it gives you a really cool look. So I highly recommend the stencil masks. I used to get them when I first started crafting. And I was like, what do you do with this? I don't understand. Like, I understood the masking portion. But then I was like, oh, now I felt like I was in on a secret at that point. Because I'm like, now I see, now I get it, now I get the magic. So those really are super magical. So very excited to have those. Okay, I'm also very excited to stop stamping and start die cutting so I can turn the fan back on because it's getting a little toasty. All right. But with my fan overhead, I find my ink doesn't, I don't know if it dries too quickly or I'm not sure how it goes, but I don't like the look of it when I do it that way. All right. Oh, goodness, hold on. Here we go. Sticking to my finger. And again, that's at the bottom. I'm not going to worry. Not going to worry. Crafting is not supposed to be about, oh, did I perfectly line it up? Of course we want our projects to look beautiful and to be lined up and all of that jazz. But don't stress yourself out about it. And especially like if leaves don't come out, just hide them under something. Don't waste your beautiful project or your leaves that you did. Just make sure you put them under something and nobody will ever know. Yes, it does. A little je ne sais quoi. Yes, it does. All right. Here we go. Adds a little something, something. Makes it unique because nobody else can get emery or Dexy fur. I'm the only one. Doo-doo. Yeah, stamp, die, and masking stencil. How cool is that? I mean, and it's just such a gorgeous set. Oh, I lined those up perfectly. Yay me! Do you ever do that when you line something up and you're like, hey? I see, because I it's just me and the cats. So, when I do it, I kind of look around and I'm like, oh my God, did you see it? I lined it up perfectly. And the cats are like, yeah, what? Yep, sure, whatever. Yep, great for you, Mom. But I used to go show my husband. I'd be like, hey, babe, look, I lined it up perfectly. And he had no idea what I was talking about, but he was super excited. He'd be like, oh, babe, that's so exciting. Oh, he was a good hype man. Good hype man. All right, here we go. So, yeah, I'm a little off on this one, too. You know what? It's fine. Not worry about it. And if it's really off, like I stamp them all the way through anyways, because you never know. You may be a little bit off on your layers, but then when you build your layout, it may be behind something, or maybe you can cut off that piece, or there's so many options so don't get rid of them. Oh my goodness gracious, what did I do? Oh, there we go. I didn't keep the enameled up on my belly. I told you guys my secret weapon, and then I didn't do it. All right, it's okay. We're going. We're pushing through. See, it's like a road trip. If you have a tire, you break down, you keep going. Keep going. Get it fixed. Keep going. I do not advise driving on a flat tire. That was not the... Just so nobody... I'm very clear about that. But you get it fixed, and then you keep going. You don't go home. You keep moving on. All right. Keep on keeping on. All right. And I probably should do this. I put a piece of washi on the back of my sheet so that, the part that was on the stamp. So less fur, passing through, hopefully. Not necessarily, but hopefully. All right. Oh, I guess my mat still is pretty sticky. Look at that. I used a lot of that anti-static powder tool. Holy Toledo. And we need the cutting plates, which, if I were a cutting plate, where would I be? Oh, I would be right here. Okay. Thought I had the cutting plates next to me. Luckily, they were not far. All right, so we have our cutting plates. We have lots of inks, because who doesn't love ink? And now, because I just stuck my hand in maple yellow, I'm cruising and grooving here. All right, the dies. Now we go to the dies. Go to the books. Okay. Oop, there we go. So yeah, I hope today this kind of has you look at your old friends, your old stampy friends. We always love seeing the new stuff. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. But it's also nice to go visit, some of our older friends here that we loved, and then something else new came out, and then we got distracted. But it's nice to go back and have a visit, catch up, so to speak. Okay. So I'm just going to, and this satin masking tape is magical. So this is just phenomenal. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. It is magic. Well, pretty much everything Ultimate does is magic, but this is really magic. Okay, got hair stuck in it. We'll fix that in a second because I just ripped it off. Like a bull in a china shop, even when I'm crafting. Coming through the door. Okay. And just lining up the best I can. Sometimes it's a little off center. That's fine. That's fine. I'm a little off center too. So maybe that's why it doesn't bother me. I like to go with unique. I'm unique. But yeah. Okay, and that's not going to fit there. Will that fit there? Oh, yeah. I thought we had another one we could pop on there. All right, we're going to call that good. If it is, we'll find out. If it's not, it's okay. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Ooh, sorry about that. Whoa. All right. We're going to start practicing with my left hand again here. My poor left hand, left arm, doesn't do much. I am very right dominant. Okay, here we go. Got some pieces. And the thing, like this one, I was a little off there. All you do, and my Altenew scissors are buried. As I mentioned, I don't have a craft space. All my craft supplies are in the other room. And I put my kit from Syracuse with my scissors in the other room. So, but if you haven't gotten the Altenew scissors, I highly recommend them. They are phenomenal, especially for a gal like me that loves to cut, barely visible sized pieces of foam tape. Oh, that's the magic. I can get down almost to hair size there with those scissors. They're so sharp and amazing. And they come with a little protector too, so that like when I was traveling, the pointy edge, it has a little house to go into, which is nice. It holds them. It's a scissor, holder. It protects the blade, but I like to call it the scissor home. It just seems, because that's where they go. They go hang out there. Okay, so we'll wiggle these. Wiggle, wiggle. I'm super sticky here. Okay. And then, whoop, I got the right one. Ha ha. Yay! It's so exciting when you get it right. Right out of the gate. The big one, obviously, I know. That's the orchid. All right. And the other thing you want to consider too, and see, because I stamped a little wonky, it's going to be a little wonky cutting as well. The other thing you want to keep in mind too is that you don't want to stamp obsidian and immediately die cut it. The obsidian is a pigment ink, so it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So you want to check your plates to make sure that it was dry. You could avoid that by heat setting it, but make sure you use a fair amount of that anti-static powder tool because the ink is going to still be wet. So you got to be careful of that as well. All right, and then so I don't throw my dies away, we're going to take those off, my little ones, because we just got to cut one more flower, but we're going to put our little leaf dies here back where they belong, because otherwise they will be taking a road trip someplace we don't want them to go. And then we just have our last flower here. And I don't think I even actually have any foam tape near me. I might have some foam squares. We may have to resort to that today. Okay. Okay, and I was gonna close that, but I'm not gonna close that yet because we have to do our background. We're gonna do our background. And then, yes, Sherry, yes, that's what I do too. I say my projects are eccentric because I am. I like to go with the word quirky. I call myself quirky. So, but it always reminds me of that show in the 80s with Corky. When I say quirky, it's funny how your brains work. Or sometimes, some days, they don't. So when I align this, so this applies as well. So if you get our Craft Your Life kit, project kits as well, and you have to align something, don't worry about the back. The back of the embossing folder does not matter at this point. When you're trying to line it up, just put it where it's supported. Okay, I'm supporting it with my machine. And then I'll do my best to line up my paper. I think it's a little wonky because I cut it a little wonky. I don't have my normal trimmer. I just have the one that was left behind, so to speak. The abandoned trimmer is now my trimmer. Okay, pull that out. So we get that out. Oh, that was an oval, but it landed ink side up. Talk about a lucky day, folks. Lucky, lucky day. Okay, so pick that up. And then we're going to go wild. We'll use the silver. Let's try the silver. Let's see how it works. It's on the desk. Let's give it a go. Give it a little go. I think the silver will look okay. If we don't like the looks of it, we don't have to use a sentiment. So that's what this was just in my abandoned die has to go home drawer, which means that I haven't put it away yet. So it's just hanging out. It is hanging out with a bunch of folks that don't know where their home is. So they're homeless. They have a home, they just don't know where it is. Do you guys have that too? Do you guys have a bunch of dies that just kind of don't know where their home is? I have stamps as well. There are stamps in there as well that are like, hello, somebody claim me, please. So this is the fancy thanks die. And one of my absolute faves. I love the fancy. When we were kids, we would say fancy schmancy. When we got all dressed up, like for prom or something like that. And if I was smart, I would have put double-sided adhesive on there. But I'm crafting, I'm not thinking, so I didn't. But that's okay. We can make it work because I have glue tape pen, and that's magical. All right, so now we have our cards. We're going to use the trimmer that needs a new blade, but we're going to use this to get it cut. And you know what? Let's keep it large and in charge here. Why not? I say. All right, so I got my fancy thanks here, my fancy schmancy. I just love that word. I don't know when else you would use schmancy, but it's a fun word to say. I like fun words. Sometimes I get a little obsessed with them because if it's fun to say, why not? Okay, now we come over. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, I think my thanks is going to go down here. So I'm just going to leave it in the die. The potted succulent add-on die, could it work on its own? Well, I mean, you could ink blend it. You would have to tape off and mask, but you would have to ink blend. Never say plain schmancy. Tracy. Oh, goodness. You guys are so funny. I love that. I never say plain schmancy. Okay, so we're going to stick this feller. He's going to be the star of the show. Okay. And then these guys are going to kind of be backup singers. Okay, we can tuck one down. They can be together and then, ooh, I like that. Okay, so just keep playing around until you like your arrangements. Okay, and then we can start, I just start putting leaves kind of everywhere. And you know, I don't pay attention. Like, should this probably go out? Would this likely be the part that was tucked under the flower? Probably. Does it have to be? No. This is your creation. So you go wild and put leaves and flowers and everything in the order and the place that you would like to put them. All right. So this one, again, I'm just going to give it a little trimmeroo here. Okay, a little trimmeroo. Just needs a little haircut. And all is good with the world. I'm happy with it. But I may not use it anyways because I want to make sure I don't want to have too much. I like to have something talking to my sentiment there. So everybody's together. So we've got 3, 6. So I think I'll just do one more. And as opposed to putting it, you could put one. So I kind of like to, I always forget about this. And my dear friend Pam always reminds me of putting my leaves together. So you could do that. Because this one, if I put one here, it feels, well, it's not too bad because of that one coming down. It looks connected. So going through there, and I can go in a little bit. So it looks kind of connected going in through there. But let me see, 2, 4, 5, 3 is 8. So that's kind of an even number. So I may not want, let's see. I think I actually like that better. And yes, there are lots of rules, you know, kind of through the card making, you know. But my feeling is if your eye likes it, you're on to something. If you look at it and say, "Yep, this works," you're on to something. So stick with your gut. Stick with your crafty gut. Because your crafty gut's not going to lead you astray. It's there to help you make beautiful projects. So make sure you listen to your crafty gut. Okay, now when I find my foam tape, well, let me tell you, I know you guys probably can't believe that I let it out of my sight. Okay, so there's that one. And then I like where that one is, so I'm just gonna do this and tuckaroo. Maybe right there. Oh no, it was going through there so that they kind of continued. Oh, it's a matching one though. I don't want that. Okay, hold on. New plan, new plan. I'm gonna come over here. Let's see how this one looks instead. And that's it. Just look and see what looks good to you. So I just don't want them to match. I don't want side by side the same thing. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over here. And we actually did stamping this time. Can you guys believe it? We've done so much ink blending lately because, as you know, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But I tried to do something non-ink blending today. I really made the conscious effort to not do ink blending today. All right, usually I have little bits and bobs floating around. I may have foam squares. Okay, let's see. Oh, I do. All right. So I apologize. I just, as I said, my crafty life is in an upheaval at the moment. Everything is everywhere. All right. It's there. And there. All right. So then we'll put this one. Oh, I'm going to push them down first. I always do that with foam tape too. Like I don't push it in, then I start trying to take the backers off. And it doesn't seem to work that way because it's not stuck down. All right. So here we go. We're going to put this kind of in between those two. Kind of regret. I don't think I stuck that down yet, which is good. Okay. Because now I kind of want to, I need to leave him here, which it's a little bigger than it would be. We can put it up over though. I think that's what we'll do. So I kind of want to have this here. Okay. And then let's get our thanks out. Okay. Get the sharp tool. Okay. And then very carefully, this is my problem, the very carefully piece. Okay, very carefully. Yeah, kind of bent. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to add my glue tape pen here, just kind of strategically so it stays down. The good part is the dots hang onto the paper and not much else, which is good because you don't want it all over your work surface. So I have none on my work surface. Once in a blue moon, a piece will stick, but it's great. And if you haven't tried that as well, it can be used as a temporary adhesive and it can be used as a permanent adhesive. So you can use it to help you with stencils, but it also, once you stick it down, it's not coming off. All right, I think that's good. I do like the silver with this. I was questioning, because a lot of times I put gold with my Martian terrain and my seashore too. So I was really questioning that. So now, this is what we're gonna do. See, we're doing some surgery. So because I wanna have like a leaf in here, but I don't want it to obstruct there, just gonna trim it down again. It's getting an operation. All right, then I feel like I'm playing the game Operation because I'm taking out my tweezers. And so I'm going to tuck that kind of up in there. I don't want it touching my sentiment, but, and then I might put one over there. And then let's see how it looks to our eye before we do the count. I always recommend that. See how you like it and then check and see how it is. So I've got 3, 5, and that's 8. So I can chop this fella, okay? And then I get a nice different looking leaf. So what you can do at that point is you can come up, and this looks different because it's the end of it. So you get more leaves because of that. So then you can also come and add, probably should add one down there. That's too big though. Do some surgery. And look at that. Bing, bang, boom. You have leaves. And you know what? I don't like these the way they are. I'm not loving it. Not loving it. So what I'm going to do, I'm liking the shorter leaves. I have pulled a little of my paper, but that's okay. I am liking the shorter leaves. I really am. I thought the long leaves were where it's at. And then because they're different, okay, you can always put them together and have a beautiful leaf cluster. Nobody knows that it's one leaf that you've done. Let's see if I can. That one was better. I feel so it's like, accomplished when I do that and it comes off. All right, so we're gonna put that there. And we'll tuck, can kind of tuck it in here. And so, yep. My friend Pam always reminds me of that. I always forget about it. And then now this one looks odd because you got that huge long one. You could leave it. I mean, it's not, it's not anything bad. Again, I'm just going to kind of chop that one there and then put that in there. And I feel like I need to put this last little piece in somewhere. Maybe it's too much though, so let's check it. All right, my tweezers come in handy. Okay, let's do that. So we'll put down this one first. Then we'll put down this one here. Ooh, and I like the way that curves down against my thanks. So I am loving the way. I know the embossing folder, and the thing I love about the embossing folders is it literally takes you 15 seconds to run it through. And you get such an effect. It's such a gorgeous effect that you end up with. Oh, I'm glad you like the word die. So the thanks is the fancy thanks die. You're busy shopping. I understand that. Yep, so this is the fancy thanks. And we have a lot of fun fancy words. I really love the enjoy, the fancy enjoy, because if you cut the E and the N off, it says joy. So it's a beautiful, elegant, fancy word that says joy. So it's really good. If someone has a baby or holidays, or it really works really, really well. So make sure you check out our fancy dies as well, because they are, and we have to add the schmancy, the fancy schmancy. They're very wonderful. We love that word. So yay. But yeah, so that's our card for today. I hope this encourages you. And again, this is from 2021 too. So, we took a road trip with the deck planks as well. So make sure you head back into your collection and have another look at favorites that you had and see. Oh yeah, I agree, Pat. Those long leaves were throwing me off. Even still, this one, I think this fella, he's bothering me. I feel like when I was a kid, Mom, Bo's bothering me, It was really bugging me. So, yes, I agree. The long was too much. I think because the flowers are larger, I really like having just like those little bits of leaves sticking out. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Angel, too. I got your seashore in there. I got you, Angel. You got me and I got you. I'm glad you guys had such a good time today. Thank you so much, as always, for coming and crafting along with us, because you guys make it absolutely so much fun to craft along with. So don't forget, we have more lives coming up all through the month, and we have a lot of excitement. So make sure you check out our Alt New calendar in the newsroom so you can see what Alt New is up to next, because we have a lot of fun stuff coming all the time throughout the month. Lots of collabs and lots of releases and lots and lots of fun. So make sure you check out our calendar to see what we're going to be doing next. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And from all of us at Altenew, we want to thank you for allowing us to help you craft your life. Until next time, my friends, happy crafting. Bye.